Hey, welcome back to a special Friday night edition of the Tiger Sports Show. We're going to take our usual trip around the Tiger sports world, getting ready for the big Hastings at Beatrice football game tonight that a lot of people are maybe driving towards or getting ready to watch on TV. I'm your host, Greg Mays. I got my brother and co-host, Tren Mays here. Tren, how was your week?
Oh, it was a good week. Did a little coding. I think I moved up to sixth grade coding this week in freshman computers class. So it's always
What'd you make happen on the computer?
I had some walls and some barriers and had to get a little creature around them and get it to some food, I guess. So didn't really
All
know.
right.
I learned on the fly. So
That sounds good. Who's teaching that class, Trent?
it's Goose. The Goose
Oh,
class. Get some
well,
tennis.
they were playing tennis when I left the school today. They had Scotts Bluff was in and GI was in. Pretty
Adams
big invitational.
Adam
Yeah.
Central was in. When I rolled in just before 8, they were already setting up, and they were
Yep,
done.
they had the
By.
Tiger tennis flag up.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the Tiger tennis flag?
Oh yeah, Coach Goose is proud of his Tiger tennis flag.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's dive right into football. The Tigers even their record at 2-2 last week with a big win over Lincoln Northwest. The Falcons of Air Park still aren't quite ready for the big time. I'd say, Trent. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, they had a couple big guys, and Cooper ran on one touchdown run. I think it was 15 yards. They scored so quick that I couldn't even keep track. It was. Sometimes they were scoring, and I'd look up and they scored again. Cooper literally ran around a guy, through a guy, and over a guy to get one of his touchdown runs. Tucker Sinek had 4 touchdown passes. I got all excited, possible school record. Then I remembered Big Bro threw 9. So
Yeah, I think that's not quite half of the school record. Yeah.
And
Well,
then
and of course, that crazy night for Jared was against Beatrice.
yeah,
And we're headed down there tonight. Yeah.
and Tuck had 2 rushing touchdowns, which they've tried to commit to the run more. I think that's Tucker's taller, probably doesn't weigh the greatest amount, but he's a tough runner when they run the zone reads and when he rolls out. And he accounted for 6 touchdowns. And the Tiger D played very well, and they punched some scores in. And then I think from the sideline view where I was, I think everybody got in. So
Yeah, the defense had another great goal line stand when Northwest had their only real scoring opportunity. And then you're right, it was a great night where lots of kids got into the ball game, which always helps morale this time of year. So a good win for the Tigers. What are you thinking tonight as we turn on what's it called, NCN?
yeah,
As we turn on
NCN,
NCN to watch this ball game.
Charter, I think it's 99. That's what I have. It's on Dish. It's statewide broadcast, and Beatrice is 1-3. We'll see McCook next week. They lost to them 56-6 in their opener.
Yeah, that was a shocker that first week. That really surprised me.
Then they beat Crete 26-20. Then last week they got drubbed by York 40-7. So unusual.
Well, a York team that we know is pretty good, but the Tigers played really tough. Tigers could have won that game.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, they should have won the first game. So they just need to keep feeding off the momentum they got last week, and then the times they move the ball on Bennington, and just try to run the ball more and get Tucker get Tuck to hit his favorite receivers and just keep working. The Dreer kid's a beast. That's a big boy.
It's been good to keep him healthy.
Yeah, in both offense and defense, and they even ran some plays. So if we had Little Shoe for Carson, what do we call the little brother? Is he Tiny Shoe?
I don't know. We're gonna have to think.
They ran some screens for him, and I had to look who was wearing 20. I wasn't sure. I thought 20. What's 20 doing out there?
Well, we knew who it was upstairs. We're pros.
Yeah, well, I'm busy down there. I'm not really broadcasting. So
All right. Well, the biggest thing for me is if the Beatrice Orangemen are dressed like jokers in all gray tonight, then it becomes an even bigger win for the Tigers. We got to have them have a terrible season so the people of Beatrice say no more all gray outfits for the Orange. All right, let's flip over to softball. I know you were out there for a dramatic game the other day, maybe one of the best games in the history of Tiger softball against a good
Yeah.
Blair team.
Yeah, that was Beatrice on Saturday. So Blair was last night. So I was out
Well,
at
I
the.
thought it was. Oh, what was the come from behind and win in the eighth inning? Which game was
That was
that?
last night. That was Blair.
That's what
So
I'm talking about.
yeah, no, I wasn't there. That was in Blair. I didn't travel to it.
Oh,
I was
well,
just following.
you were sending me updates via text with so much detail. I thought you had to be there.
No, I was watching it for a while. I watched the end on there on YouTube, but it was a good win for the ladies last night. Mackenzie Nolet had a senior moment. We got no hit for 4 innings, and then Kenzie hit a homer to get it to 2-1, and then Grace drew a big walk in the top of the seventh. Kenzie knocked her home with a double to tie it, and then in softball they put the last out up, so we had
Ghost runner on second, at
Elliot
Tren.
Winslow at 2, and bottom of the order, Emily Kratzer came through the big hit, and then Ella shut the door. She had over 11 Ks. She had 100 Ks last weekend. And then they stubbed their toe against Gretna East last night, and I talked to Coach Blake today, Coach Marquardt. They put all that energy into the first game. Just didn't have much left in the tank. They played Norris on Tuesday, competitive game. Ella pitched. Norris is waking up. You never want to see Norris waking up in softball because they're a sleeping giant. We've had run-ins with them. Then last week, they had 2 50-point wins this week. They just hammered Beatrice 8-2 in the
Playoff points you're talking.
Yeah, yep, 50 playoff points. And then they hammered Beatrice. They pulled out a win versus Norris on Saturday, which turned out to be a big one to get to that final. They played a little Blake ball or Tiger ball. They bunted a couple times in a row and even ran what I call a suicide bunt. And then it was weird seeing the shift against Little Power Piper Whitty. They played her to go away, so they had everybody in left field and center, and then behind third. And then the second time she hit it down the first base line, she got him. So, in that
is she slapping from the left side? What's she doing?
Bit. She's not a true slapper. She goes away a lot. So, but Little Power can hit all fields. So I've been
all right. Well, are they at home this week? I haven't seen them in a little bit. I need to get out and see them.
They go to Crete tomorrow. Crete's got a bunch of teams. They're going to open with Aurora. They'll see Aurora on Monday with GACC. And then they could see Newman, number 1 team in C1. And then our old friends up 281, the GA Northwest Vikes, are on the other side with Crete. So Coach Blake called that a pretty point-heavy field. So if we come out on top of that one, you're going to get some good power points because this is the last week of the season for the ladies. So
you could have driven out to Beatrice for the football game, slept in your car, and then been at Tuxedo Park to see all those softball games tomorrow, Tren. No, you really left that one on the table.
No, I got Tiger Band to go to tomorrow. They're marching downtown Melody Roundup.
Melody Roundup is back.
Well,
didn't Hastings College eliminate that one year? Didn't they eliminate the parade? I think they just tried to eliminate it.
Yeah, maybe. But this year it's away from homecoming. Homecoming's at the end of October, which I don't know why you have homecoming at the end of October.
Melody Roundup without homecoming?
Yeah, it's because the state band is that weekend. So there wouldn't be any high school bands. So the Marching Tigers, I talked to their director today.
Mr. Emke?
Yeah, Mr. Emke. I have lots of fun conversations with him. They are going to march really quick, and I will walk with them, and then I'll probably go home because I get my walk in that day. I just follow the Tigers through the parade route. I started that with Zoe. Then they're hopping the buses to get to Columbus. So
yep,
they'll have
their first real competition, right?
The bus is warmed up and ready to go on some of the streets in downtown. They'll hop in those and get out of town and head to Columbus. So I was really happy that they're going to march tomorrow. It's always fun. And then anytime I go downtown to Melody Roundup, I always think of Animal House and the Delts attacking the parades. So those memories will come flashing back when I walk down there tomorrow. So
All right. Well, cross country, another big week, and they've got a big meet coming up. How did the cross country team finish out here when we ran in the little country schools invite?
So the boys finished second. Austin Carrera won. He won it I think the trib said it was for the fourth time. Sophie
Reynolds,
she won. The girls were champs. And then the biggest feat, I talked to Coach Kyle. I've been hanging out with coaches today. Nice chat with Coach Blake and Coach Kyle. Austin won the big one in Lincoln. And that was a big one because it's tough for Class B runners to win that. There's a lot of A schools there. So he's on a roll. Monday they had
the big Lincoln High invite at Pioneers Park, the biggest regular season cross country meet of the year in my mind. And Austin went there and won it. That's a challenging course. I was talking to Coach Johnson. He says Nebraska doesn't run at Pioneers anymore because the Big Ten thinks it's too challenging.
That's interesting.
They run on a golf course. You're not going to see me at any Big Ten cross country meets. I'm boycotting them till they're back at Pioneers where cross country belongs.
I'm going to tell the Big Ten to toughen up, Buttercup. So
yeah,
you got to go play. So Monday they're at state. They're at the state course in Kearney.
At UNK. Yeah.
And the big boys in Class B are all showing up. Scott's going to be there. Gretna East. Those are two runners in front of Austin. Austin's third in Class B. The Scott kid who's top, another shout out to Coach Kyle. He does not run in Nebraska very much. Scott has spent more time running out of state than they have in state. We were joking that Scott needs to build an airport right next to their school so all their teams can hit the jet plane and get out and get to that. And then Sophie's going to run into the girls right in front of her. There's two schools. It's Norris and somebody else. I can't remember the other one, but they have all the girls. Most of the top 10 comes from two Class B schools for the girls.
Yeah, that UNK meet's always a preview of state. You know, people want to get on the state course, so people are willing to drive out there. I love it when the top runners get together because the one thing you learn about cross country is you can compare times, but when two runners are out on the grass together, sometimes it isn't the faster one who wins. So that'll be exciting. I know we've got volleyball tomorrow. We're still looking for the Tigers to get that first win. Looking at the bracket, there might be some chances. So hopefully the home team can find one. Looks like they're starting with Columbus. Then they're either going to see Northwest or Elkhorn. And then maybe, thinking maybe Lexington or Alliance in that third one. Be great to see the Tigers get the win. That's tomorrow right here in Hastings. All right, Trenner. What do you got? You got some special surprise for me? Or are we going to pick teams?
We got to pick the teams first.
Oh, okay. All right. I've been working on Nebraska Hall of Fame nominations all week, and I've been working on Wayne Weber, the quarterback of the 1962 team. So I want to take the 1962-1963 school year. Mid-East football champions, Big Ten East champions, came within a whisker, a blocked extra point of winning the Big Ten in the state of Nebraska. Basketball was conference and district champions, went to state at the start of that 60s run. Gymnastics was in the top 10 that year. A great school year for the Tigers. I want 62-63 in the competition. Okay. And I'm going to bring Bob Stickles on the show. Bob Stickles on the show to talk about 62-63. That's my new dream guest.
So can I do my Bob Stickles in front of Bob Stickles?
I wouldn't do that, man. I wouldn't do it.
Well, but we do know what Bob Stickles says. We brought him up last week. If you go that left-handed, you can get your college paid for.
Yes, indeed.
He yelled that
baseball guy through and through.
He yelled that across the batting facility at me and stuff. So I'm going.
And Tren, can you bat left-handed?
No, I was coaching.
You're left-handed.
Well, and he also said to have that big boy get his butt into a swing because he's going to hit it a long ways.
That would have been good for you too.
Well,
all right. Who you
hit off
picking?
the tee, but I can't hit pitch. But we all know that. It's been
Yeah.
forgotten.
I can't believe the picture of you isn't up yet. Oh, there we go.
Up and I flipped off and left. Oh yeah, nice picture. Those are some uniforms. I dare producer Tate, who runs our little league, to bring those uniforms back. Those are
throwback uniforms for the little league. We're calling for it, Tren. You and I united. All right, what school year are you taking?
I'm going with 1970 and 1971.
Ooh.
I'm going boys basketball, conference and district champ, state runner-up. Boys swimming.
Not state runner-up, state semifinalists. Lose to East in the semis, 84-83. Tigers had 3 shots at the bucket at the end and couldn't get one down.
Okay,
Paul Thomas.
Then state boys swimming, state top 10. Boys track was.
That's a great run of swimming in there. I don't know if Tucker Kehoe's the coach yet, but in there, some of the best Tiger swimming from 70 to 75, 76.
Boys track was also top 10.
Oh, some sprinters, Trenner. You don't think about Hastings High and sprinters. They had sprinters.
Isn't that one Phelps jumped 7 foot in the high jump?
No, he's not in high school yet. He's not there yet.
Oh, that's why I picked that.
Let's see. He's an 8th grader that year. So he was jumping 6 foot.
Yeah, he's jumping 6 foot downtown. So I thought that was a pretty good year. So
all right. We'll put them in. Now that gives us 8. What we got to talk about this week is, are those our 8, and do we want to start putting the bracket and having the people decide who's got the best school year, or do we need more?
I think 8's good enough.
All right. Well, we'll talk this week. All right. So, well, I'm ready for the show to end, but you said you have a big surprise.
I got 3 minutes. So the person, wait.
You got 2 minutes and 6 seconds.
No, the person that way in his car had a big day this week. So I think we need to celebrate the big day by reliving your greatest sports memories. And we have a few of them. Here comes producer Tate. So we got a little basketball from the south.
Now there's Dad. There's Mom. There's me. Wow. That's Parents' Night, 1986.
Little GI.
Captain.
In the little jungle.
Who's that? Is that Buck? Is it Buck? Buck and I are captains that night.
Yeah,
Buck Hahn. Great teammate.
We got Spirit Week, and they brought in the bleachers for the stage.
I'm not sure, Tren. I might have been a little thinner then. I can't really tell. It might just be the stripes on those warm-ups that are making me look thinner.
So, and then you got your big rivals, GI. That's a big boy center for the Islanders.
That's Chuck. That's Chuck Oliver.
All right.
I was just talking to Chuck last month.
And then you got
he's in Wisconsin.
You got the fun bunch over there in the front, packed house in the South Gym. Probably 1,200 people.
Yep. Only 3 guys around me, so I'm shooting, friend. Only 3.
You're all the time inside, buddy.
Yeah.
Did you win this?
Rub double. Rub double.
Uh-oh, look at the jump spot.
Yeah, rub double. Rub double again.
From the elbow. Right? Did
we're going to run it. One more time. Watch this. He comes out hard. Oh, where is it? Danstrom from GI is going to come out hard at me, and I'm going to double clutch and still hit it.
That's the food section right there.
Yeah, I had the flu. I had the flu, Trent. I had a temperature. I was sick as a dog.
Yeah, that's old school. We got the pyramid.
Oh, Vicky, be careful.
Ladies.
That's Vicky Solomon on top.
Yeah, I was up in the balcony, so those were fun times. You got the fun bunch.
All right. That's a pretty good way to celebrate my 57th birthday, Trenner.
And we have a bonus picture later that year. The great,
that's the pump fake
against the 2 big trees from Prep. So that was
that's Lamont McIntosh on the right. Is that big David Allen, who was a freshman? That was a big freshman for Prep.
And that was my first state basketball experience. So that was a lot of fun, and that was the patented Mays pump fake.
You didn't go with us 2 years earlier when we went down and watched Omaha Northwest play?
Maybe I don't know. But
I
that
bet
was
you
a good
did.
one. But
You were just little.
the Madden double, triple, quadruple pump fake with the exaggerated face.
Up,
You
up.
gotta sell it with the face. That was the whole
You
key.
you only need one move, and then you got to be able to put it in the hoop, Trenner.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was pretty good.
You shooting from the I didn't know what he pulled. You shooting wide open. So they did not want to guard you?
Sandstrom was 6'4". That guy flying at me 6'4". Yeah, 29 points, Trent. I was so sick. I was so sick. I didn't dress up for Islander Day. I was all bundled up all day, all bundled up. But Lance had been sick all week. I go to coach before the game. I say, I'm not sure I can go. And Trade says, well, Lance isn't starting because he's sick. You better give it a try. I never missed a shot all night that hit the rim, Trent.
Yeah,
Now I put up several air balls, but every shot that went near the rim went in. Yeah.
you nailed
Sometimes it's better to be sick. I had the chills in that hot gym. I was the only one comfortable.
Yeah. Then you had to play
All right.
GI 2 weeks later. So
Yeah. And 2 weeks before we had beat them in GI and triple overtime. That was the second game there. Yeah.
That was when you you messed your fingers up and you had to make the free throws from the night before when you got your hand stepped on.
I messed my wrist. I hurt my wrist. Yeah. All right, Trenner. We're already 2 minutes and 20 seconds over. You better get us out of here.
That was a fun throwback, and we got to get some wins this week and watch Tiger football tonight. Follow Tiger softball this weekend and cross country on Monday. Go to Tiger.
Let's get a volleyball win.
Yep.
Go Tigers.